first gear, clutch kick, and I just saw my RPMs going like this.
It was
like
like
all the way
hitting
around.
9,000 RPM. Kind of want to make my own team too, so we started like RSM. I just saw like a 2-car gap between him and Drew. I was like, dude, I want to door Drew, and this guy's like going too slow, and we just pass him.
Drip and Drift.
Welcome to the Drip and Drip podcast. My name is Nick, and today's guests, Jose and Rocky, the Seat Time brothers, with our style modified. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I hit up Jose. He's like, I got to bring my brother. And I was like, I haven't had two guests on in a very long time, but all right, let's do it. And now I feel like if this goes well, I probably will have some more.
Okay.
More, at least 2 people, 3 people come on and see some teams. Because I've had people like, I want to bring the team on. I'm like, I'm doing one-on-ones right now, but yeah, like I tested it out, so this should go well, and I'm glad both of y'all were able to come. So
cool, yeah.
You were just telling me recently you just got a new chassis, new Miata.
Yeah, I got it just for the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just cut out the cage, put it in my car, and finally be caged.
Yeah. Is that like you have to cut it into little pieces or like into pieces to get it?
I'm gonna try to cut it into like 2 different pieces. So you have like the front half of the cage and the back half, which would be like the roll bar. So I'm gonna try to cut like that, fit in the car, then weld it on.
And it is a Miata. So I'm always thinking like hard top cars or like coupes. So I'm sure it would be a lot easier to take out with. Yeah. Maybe even in one piece you just take out the top, dude.
Maybe. Yeah.
That'd be sick. So how'd y'all get into drifting? Was it together? Or who started it? I started it.
So the way I got into drifting the same way I got into cars. It was like in high school during a marine biology class. Me and a group of like 3 other friends, they all had cars. I had no car. I was like the carless guy.
Yeah.
And then we're just watching like Nori Yarrow videos. And then my friend put me on into Initial D, so I started watching that. So I just watched like all of Initial D, bunch of Nori Yarrow videos, and then I got into option videos, like really old ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really want to do this. And then I think it was Taylor Ray that popped up in my feed. Now I found out about OSW, so I went there for that ride-along event. And I rode with this dude's car named Kyle. He had like a G35, like bash bar, like OSW spec.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. And I gave him 1 ride-along ticket. He gave me like 10 ride-alongs, say with my dad, and then he hopped in Grant's Master Speed.
Yeah. And the Adjunct too.
Yeah. I hopped in his Master Speed and his 350.
Yeah.
Those are like the first 2 cars I ever rode on mine.
Yeah. And then what made you then like actually pursue it? Because there's a difference between enjoying drifting and like, yeah, I like it, but then actually getting a car going into it.
Yeah. Probably the ride-alongs, I would say. Like, I was into it, like, just watching it and stuff. And I was like, man, I really want to do it. And then I hopped into the ride-along. Like, I don't want to say it was like way more chill than I expected it to be. I expected it to be like super rowdy, bouncing around everywhere. And it's just like, I felt like I could do it. So, like, right after that drifting, I think like 3 days later, we bought my Miata.
Yeah. 3 days later?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like the first car. I wanted to buy a 300CX before the Miata, but every time I found one, it was like I either couldn't afford it or they had issues. Like I knew nothing about cars when I got into it.
Yeah. So, I've always loved a 300ZX, but I've always heard so many problems and like so many things with them, and they're more expensive than I feel like they should be. And like I don't know.
Weird like middle ground of like just being a cool car but it's just not good at anything.
Yeah, for real. It was like ahead of its time at the time, like so many buttons and
it just
the dash looks different.
Support you wanted, I guess. It's like it's not like an S chassis or like a 350. You can just buy angle kits and everything. You gotta make everything.
Yeah, there is much support for it. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then what happened with you?
He got me into
3 days after he got his, you got yours.
I was actually like 14, was it?
Yeah.
I was around 14 at the time and I got a G35 coupe.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
You like never drove it?
Yeah, never even drove. I somewhat learned manual on that car, but the transmission, typical city, started grinding. Sold the car. We got a Miata that was like Naruto grade wrapped and everything, stock 1.6. Learned how to drive manual properly at OSW. Okay. So went to not even knowing how to drive manual. So I just started like doing donuts. And then just went from there.
Yeah.
Dang.
That was so fun.
And what year was that, or how long ago was that for you
4
guys?
years ago.
Around so.
Yeah.
I started drifting when I was like 15.
Yeah.
And I'm 18 now.
Dang.
That's like 3 years and a half.
Dang. Yeah. So you've still been in it for a few years, and dude, you're young as fuck. That's awesome, man. Like I'm looking forward to seeing where you guys progress to. if you want, I don't know, do you guys want to compete, or do you want to, you're into more style and fun, or what do you guys think?
I think we're like finding out. We're like really into like our little team thing that we got going on.
Just like driving with friends, having fun, getting good runs.
Yeah.
Like my best friend Peyton, like we're like pulling all-nighters, fixing each other's cars. It's like he had issues with his, what was it, like the transmission or?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember. Like he had to like pop out the transmission. Like one day we're hanging out at my house, just like, I don't know, having a barbecue. And he's like, man, I haven't fixed my car. I'm like, you want to pull an all-nighter? It's like, right now it's already like fucking midnight. And we stayed up until like 5 a.m. fixing that fucking car.
That's love right there. Yeah, you know, that's love for the sport and what you guys do. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So both of you guys have Miatas. They're both NAs.
Yeah.
And your new one's an NA too?
Yeah.
So is that like all-time drift chassis, or like, why do you guys love Miatas so much?
So I kind of like, I didn't even plan on buying a Miata at first. It was actually my friend that convinced me to get one, and my dad, ironically.
Yeah.
And it's like, he just kept finding them for so cheap, and like I said, I wanted 300CX, but I couldn't quite get it, so I just got the Miata. And like I got into it, and I'm glad I did, because it's not like a super easy car to drive. Like I can hop into most cars and be able to link the track and do whatever I need to do. Because the Miata's just like harder to start with, especially like stock angle. They have like no angle, no power, so it's like, I don't know, you kind of just have to figure it out.
Yeah. And that's how it started for both of you. Like both Miatas were just completely stock, basically.
Yeah. His car didn't even have a fucking rev limiter.
Yeah, mine didn't have a rev limiter. I don't know why. I was so scared to shift to second. You know, first time I ever not even know how to drive manual. Like, I don't know how to put second, so I was just like first gear, clutch kicking. I just saw my RPMs going like this.
It was like
all the way
hitting 9,000 RPM. Dude, it was wild.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that like something in the computer? Like
it had a Mega Square, and I guess the previous owner like tuned it or tried to, and just removed the limiter for some reason.
Yeah.
So I had no rev limiter.
He was telling me like, what does my car go like, boom, 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 boom? I'm like, well, I don't know. So I started like, let me just check. Dude, I think I went to like 9,500 before I shifted. I'm like, this thing does not have a rev limiter.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's how some shit blows up.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
It's still in the same motor.
Yeah, I'm still in the same motor.
Nice. Dang. So you were saying you were gonna cut the cage out. Is that the only thing from that chassis you're gonna take over?
Yeah.
Why not just get a new cage then, or was it the cheaper? Was it
it was so much cheaper.
True.
We got the cage for the price of a motor.
Yeah.
Dang. All right.
Yeah, and I got all my stuff in my car, my angle kit, my belt motor, I guess you could say, just force rods, my 6-speed transmission, all of that stuff. So it's like, why go through the hassle of transfer everything?
Yeah. And then, I mean, that shell, you could use the doors, the hoods if you bang up and stuff. So
it's not, most of the body panels in good condition,
Most.
Yeah. The door's all cut out. I don't know why, because you could have just kept the door whole.
True. Yeah, I don't know what he was. Oh, because the cage, or you said you could keep it whole?
Yeah, like it still has the door card on the passenger side, but then the driver's side.
Yeah, like the passenger side, it has the window regulators, window, door card, everything. Then the driver's side just all gutted.
And it's not like the cage goes out further on one side or the other. It's like the same length.
He just cut it before installing the cage, and I was like, oh shit.
I didn't have to do it.
It was actually a Levin's car. Like a 24-hour race.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's got history behind it.
It was that you picked it up here in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Well, thanks. So if NAs run out, what would be the next thing for you guys?
So I'm personally having a hard time. I think he's got it more figured out than I do. But I'm between like an S chassis or just building an NC.
Yeah.
Like I've looked into the NCs and I got 2.5 like Ecotech swap. Seems cool. So.
Yeah, I never liked the NCs, but I have seen them at track. Like I have seen some that look good, and I'm like, oh, it made me rethink about them.
The stock ones just look so ugly. I'm sorry, like except for the NC3s, but those are like fucking.
But I also think that about like Miatas in general, kind of like completely just stock. Like they kind of don't. Yeah. But then you lower them a little, put some wheels on them, maybe a kit. They start to look good.
Yeah.
But so NC maybe for you. And what about you, Roy?
Mine would probably be either an FRS, because I drove on Merrick, you know Merrick? I drove his FRS over at Fall Doda in Georgia because I blew up my clutch.
Okay.
So I was like, dude, just drive my car. That's basically a Miata.
Yeah.
Like if you want to transition like quick, it transitions quick.
His isn't stock though.
Yeah. Yeah, his is super nice. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got those are dope too. I do feel like they are maybe not the next 240 or the next Miata, but they are the 4-cylinder newer car.
Yeah.
Like they're smaller. I really don't see. I was just talking to somebody. The NDs. I don't see anybody really drift. I've seen a couple show cars done, but
they're just so expensive. It's like
you think that's why?
And the transmissions, like they just tend to blow up more than the NCs for whatever reason. Because I follow a couple of guys that have NDs, and like whenever they drive a car, it's like the stock 5-speeds for the Miatas. It's just you like fucking flat foot shift, you're breaking that thing.
Yeah.
So
dang. But for now, you keep rocking NAs for both of you for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool car. It's just I don't know. It's just like short gears.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. They just work for you. You
Yeah.
like them? Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
It's what we started driving with.
Yeah.
We got used to.
Yeah. Dang. And you never wanted to go back to G35 or C or anything?
Never really drove my G35, but I drove like Taylors to the 50. I drove Maxes to the 50. I like those cars, but just like not my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Yeah, they're as much as I've grown to love mine and appreciate it. It's still like not my all-time favorite car. It just works good. It's teaching me how to drive. Like there's room for me to grow in it. You know, like once I get the cage, if I want to go faster, I could put some nitrous on it. If I want to compete in it, I can. But I don't know. I still just have never loved it as much.
For us, it's actually kind of like the opposite. I feel like we're like hitting that spot for the Miatas. It's like you can't compete with them, but you'll never be able to like do like Pro-Am or anything like that.
Yeah,
they're not legal for it.
Yeah,
you need like 18-inch tires, like this certain like setup, and like the Miata is just never gonna do it. You cannot put an 18 in the Miata and have it work.
Yeah, it's more that Japanese style vibe, at least. That
it's
I feel like smaller wheel, grassroots. Yeah, smaller wheels, smaller motors, and really like, I mean, like your name, Seat Time. Like I'm sure the tires last a while. Like, it's good seat time car.
Yeah, they're just pretty cheap to run. Like when you have them dialed, like pedals, you can do so many laps on it and just be fine. Mine likes to blow up, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I'm still in the same motor since I got the car.
You know what's fucked? I built that motor for him, and like I half-assed it. I didn't put any effort in it, and like I have to do mine, like everything proper, and it just keeps going out.
Yeah, what do you have done to it? What's all done?
Basically everything. It's like built head, forged pistons and rods, boundary, oil pump, ARP studs, main studs, fucking everything did.
True.
And then this last one, like blew up because I blew up the head gasket. And I swapped the head gasket, swapped the oil, and I guess there was still like head gasket residue, and it got into bearing number 1. So I rod knocked bearing number 1.
Dang.
It's not even like bad. I could probably swap the bearing and be fine, but I'm just gonna send it out to the machine shop and have it done.
Yeah.
Good again.
Yeah, you don't want to, I guess, risk it if you you can do that.
I know he did.
Yeah, but and yours, same thing basically, like
just 4 rods. Everything was a stock.
Yeah,
we just like half-assed it because since it's my daily, I needed to go to school and 2 days later.
Yeah.
So like I blew my clutch, and I was having a bunch of blow-bys. So we're like, let's do the piston rings. He pulls out the piston just falls apart.
Well, it wasn't that bad. It was like the second stop for the second ring.
Yeah.
It was like cracked a little bit, and I pulled it out, and I just hit it with like one of those like needle nose pliers, and it kind of just broke off, and it's like that was about to let go.
Yeah.
So it's probably better off it came there.
Yeah. So I put another stock pistons. I think we bought like AutoZone piston rings.
Yeah,
and I fucking like put them together. I had like a set of force rods laying around, so I used those force rods, and I put the same stock fucking rod bearings like he had on. I didn't even buy bearings for it. I just like put the old ones in and I fucking slapped it together.
Dang, dude! And it's still running.
It's that's like Honda shit that I did.
Yeah, for real, dude. That's some Honda shit right there, for real. Dude, that's one thing. Like I had buddies in the Hondas, and I had I had a 3000 GT front wheel drive. And after that, it was like always rear wheel or all wheel drive cars. Like I just never. Now I kind of like more Hondas, more front wheel drive stuff. I just never fully got into it myself. Like I would like to rear wheel swap a Prelude. Like I feel like that would be a dream car of mine. So.
I like how the Preludes look too. It's just isn't that like the bad luck car? Like don't they have like that Friday the 13th vibe to them? I think it was the Prelude.
Was it? I don't know.
I don't remember. I think I saw something about it.
Yeah. That and the Del Sol I kind of liked. Because it's like small like a Miata, but like Yeah, just front wheel drive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta get over that, I guess. But if I love drifting, that's like what I want to do in a car. So yeah. But so any crazy stories you guys have driving together? Like anything?
Probably driven luck.
Yeah.
Driven luck.
Driven luck was fucking.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did we even come to that? I think who came up with the idea? It was someone in our friend group. I just remember, I think it was Ramon.
Yeah, I think it was Ramon.
So anyways, we had this one group chat going on. And then Ramon, like one day in a fucking, like Wednesday afternoon, I think it was, just goes, do you guys want to go to Alabama with me? And then I think it was like 5 days away, like a week away.
Yeah, probably.
Like a week away from the event?
Yeah.
True.
And then we're like, okay. And he's like, yeah, it seems pretty cool. Like I had already seen clips of Driven Luck for some guys I follow. So I was like, man, that trail looks really cool. All right, fuck it, let's do it. So we were in, and then I think Mary was in, and then Drew was in. So like we had like this little field trip going on a week away from the event. So like we didn't have a 2-car trailer at the time. So his car got trailer, and then I had to street drive mine.
No.
And I had just put it together. I had just changed like the entire thing, like the entire like hot side for the turbo was all new. I had just built the motor. I had just built his motor too. We only had like one event in it, and then it was fuck. I drove it 9 hours over there, dude.
Dang.
Like fucking, I think it was already caged, right?
Yeah.
Like
basically testing it, like driving it up there.
Yeah.
Holy
So
God.
2 hours into the trip, the manifold I bought it off a marketplace. And it was like get a rig. It was super cool. It's a 2-liter one. But the guy added an external gate and he flux core welded the whole thing with like a piece of like AutoZone like like 1.5 inch diameter exhaust tubing for the gate. So you can see how that went for me. Like 2 hours into the trip, the whiskey just falls off it. I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull over because my car's like super loud. It's like open headers. I'm like, what's going on? I popped the hood and I'm like, dude, my whiskey's on the floor. I try to grab it, I can't because it's obviously hot. So I just left it on the engine bay, just like dangling in there, and I kept driving for like the rest of the 7 hours.
With it loud like that?
Yeah, I was like open headers, and like people were like looking at me when we were going to Atlanta. I had like fucking scat packs and Hellcats trying to race me because I'm fucking cussing. I'm like, bah. I'm like, fuck you.
But when you got there, you were able to fix it up?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I gotta give a shout out to Coy and Caden for letting me use their welder, because I texted the Driven Luck Instagram asking them if they had power over there, because Ramon was gonna bring a welder for me to fix it, but he wasn't gonna get there until like literally like 1 a.m. or something. And we got there like 9, and they were like, okay, just bring your car over, so let us know when you get here. That's what they said. So I let them know when I was at the hotel. They were like, swing over, we have a carport and a welder for you to use.
Sick.
And that's sick. So I literally like stayed up like all night with them since like I think like 9:30 to 2 a.m. just like pulling out the entire manifold, welding, and then putting it back in the car. And they were like there for the whole time.
Sick. And that's 2 brothers, like it's their property, right? And they just like built the track on there, and that's sick, man.
It's like
that's a dream right there, dude. Dude, even if like, of course, like have the boys over, but even if it was just like their track to practice on, like that's still so cool. Like, dang,
super cool environment. That's like probably the best track. Not because of like the layout or anything, just like the way they welcome you and stuff is like the best ever. And like
just the way that everything is set up, they have like one row which is like don't mind you the straight. It's like all they ask.
Don't mind you the straight.
I think I looked at a picture. I think it was Coy with a sign like on the entry, and just holding like "Don't mind you the straight." And as soon as everyone's going, you had this one dude managing the straight, and he was just like, "What the fuck?"
There's always one.
There's
always one. So it was like a day event that you guys went there, a weekend,
2 days.
2 days, and just constant driving. Like, how many people were there? Just that group, like you said, that went?
I think there were like 16 people, I think.
Okay. Yeah, like 16.
So basically, also the private day.
We got like, I at least got like 120 laps, and I kept melting turbo nicely. That was
wild. The entire life is like amazing. We drove the whole weekend in the same pair. They were still brand new by the time we were done.
What tires do you guys use?
I think that time we were using 5Rs. Now I'm using the 351s that they came out with, and some Candas like the KR28s. It's just the one thing with Miatas, it's hard to get tires. Like honestly, for 15s, it's like you got the 651s, but you can't get anything bigger than a 225. So it's like you're kind of limited. And same thing with the Hancocks. Like you find the 15s, but they're not like always really available.
Are 16 just too big? Like 16-inch?
They work, but it's kind of pushing it. Like you definitely kind of run 17s.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
I talked to Cameron. I don't know if you know him. Cameron Nunez.
I don't know. I'd have to see
He told me that he ran 17s, and it's just like the car just doesn't feel right because he wanted to run like a bigger type, like a 255 or a 245. Yeah. It's just the car just does not feel like a Miata anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you'd have to run a lot more power, I guess, for that. Well, better axles.
He's the one with the other spot Miata.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like he's got everything. And it was like, yeah, that's not feel good. It's like a drag racing car. It's only good for the straight.
True.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I guess go back to 16s or 15s for him.
Yeah.
Dang. So driven luck, definitely though. One of your favorite tracks. Like, have you guys been at any other tracks?
Yeah.
Cordell,
Georgia, and
The Firm.
A Showtime, I guess.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically it, though.
Yeah. So driven luck's favorite so far out of all of those.
Yeah.
I want to try that for sure. And I guess if it's up there, Mid-Pond is like, I hear is pretty close by. Like, relatively close by.
Yeah, I think Merrick and the guys are going to go up there for Mid-Pond, driven luck.
Yeah, for the drift week.
Lanier, I don't know.
Yeah.
For his Great Value drift week.
Yeah,
dude. He told me about that. That's sick.
Yeah, hopefully it works out, dude.
Yeah. You're not going to that?
No. We might go to Fall Double Down. Yeah. And that's about it.
True.
Just new job, so it's like we can't really get the days off that quickly.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, Our Style Modified, it's your team or like crew people? Tell us about it. What's up?
Just coming from all those like old option videos, I was always into the team stuff. And I don't know, I kind of just always wanted to make a team. And I think it was also the rogue type guys when I first started, they were still driving. So like Peter, Jason, Connor, all those guys were like fucking killing it. They had like these like nice cars, just like running really aggressive driving. Like for me at the time, I was like, dude, that's sick. And they kind of like stopped out of it, and we got like their team stickers. Like if you look at the back of our cars, we have the rogue type stickers. Like this is sick. But then they kind of stopped driving, and we're like, I kind of want to make my own team too. So we started like RSM. And it was at first it was just Pedro and I, and then we hopped Drew, and which is the guy with the IS300. He drives super good, and now it's Peyton and Matt. Yeah, so that's like the team that was.
Peyton has S13.
Yeah.
What's Matt drive?
Matt's a 350.
Yeah, 350. True. And what is like the aesthetic behind it, or like, I guess I see the reason behind wanting to start it, but. More like grassroots vibe, style vibe, like how does...
Just fucking drive hard, dude.
Yeah, drive hard. Don't be a pussy. Drive hard. Hell yeah.
Because I guess the whole thing with the team right now is that every single one of the members just does not give a fuck if you like have an accident with each other.
Yeah.
Because like Peyton and I have crashed into each other like so many fucking times. I'm not gonna get out of my car and be like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you crashing into me? You fucking idiot. I'm just gonna be like, damn, dude, you fucked my shit up. So we fix it later.
Yeah. Help me fix it later. Yeah.
The last event we did, we're running a train. I guess like Peyton had saw something weird. Like his car was bogging a bit, so he's on those brakes and I sent on mine. And I just kept going, I just rear-ended the hell out of him. Like, our cars are total right here. I saw his helmet, like, I saw the top of his helmet from, like...
Oh, my God.
I ran it, like, so hard, like, well, my car's total. I see his car going, it's fine. I'm thinking, my radiator's probably fucked or whatever. I clutch kick and I just stay in it. And we got, I was like, dude, you're crazy. I thought your car was total. I turned around, you're right behind me.
Yeah.
And, well, if my car's total, I'm at least going to finish the lap.
You should have told him like you told me. You told me the story. It was I thought I killed Peyton. Like, I thought I broke his neck. He went like all the way back as I hit him.
It was so hard. Like I used my harness tight. Like I used all 5 points and everything. I had like the harness like mark right here. My collarbone was hurting.
But he was good.
Yeah, everybody was good, so we just kept on driving.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, well, I guess you can do when you guys have driven with each other for a long time, even the other guys too. So like, I feel like when you have that relationship or that like trust in them, you can do that. Like, I don't know if necessarily you drive that hard with any random person. And
I tried to. It's just there's always like you can't just like go into someone and like not communicate that you're gonna try to door them and stuff. So you always gotta have like that boundary of respect.
Yeah.
But I feel like that boundary of respect is also a limiting factor for you to like get a driving experience. Because a big thing for me lately is getting really good at the just diving after transition, just getting on throttle before the lead car. And it's just not something you can practice with someone that's not like a good friend of yours, I feel like. Because if something happens, you never know how that other driver is going to react.
Right.
Like you would hope that everyone's on the same page. Like if you run tandems, whatever happens, happens, and it's part of the sport. But you could get that one guy that's like, can't even afford to run his car right now. You fucking like fuck this shit up. And he's like, very pissed off with you. Understand?
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, you fucking shitty driver. I'm
good. I
trying to
swear.
get better. Sorry.
Dang.
There's only one way to make progress. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, I feel like in competition it's a given, but like at a fun day or something,
you can't do that.
It's like that's not a given that you're gonna smash into people's doors.
Yeah, you gotta have that wiggle room. So it's like whenever I run it with a random, it's always like that safe zone. Be respectful, try not to hit anyone, crash into anyone. And when you're with your team members, just drive like you want.
Go. Hell yeah.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
I say that and I'm also like fucking passing people. We don't talk about that.
No.
There's this one video on Sebastian, what's his name?
Yeah,
Sebastian with the yellow 350Z with the lowrider paint.
Okay.
He's just like doing his line.
Yeah.
And he just turns and you see Jose like overtake him in the middle of the train, just dooring Drew right next there.
I just saw like a 2-car gap between him and Drew. I was like, dude, I want to door Drew. And this guy's like going to his zone. We just pass him.
Dang. Yeah, that's that. What do they call burst pass or like?
I didn't even mean to be like that. Yeah. Like, let me just like overtake this guy real quick.
Yeah. Dang. Well,
it was fun. I thought he was gonna be mad at me because after I did, I was like, "Fuck, that was kind of fucked up."
Yeah.
And like I pulled into the pits, and he's like talking to his friend. He points at me. This motherfucker pulling end style on me.
Like that was sick, dude. Like.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, that was funny, dude.
Like, with driving styles and stuff, like even we were just talking about with that, you obviously like that more aggressive style.
Yeah.
That more it's aggressive kind of because you have to be in a Miata. I feel like you like have to really throw. I guess with a turbo, not as much.
Yeah.
But
so my first setup, like I don't know, it was turbo and everything. I was only making like 155 horsepower.
Yeah.
Like I swear. Like people thought I was like kidding or just like making like the car like look worse than it really was. But it was like I dynoed it, and I always thought it was like 180, 200. At the dyno to the wheel is 155 wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm surprised I'm keeping up.
Yeah. Well, it is a little car. Like, you don't really need a lot, but you do need, I guess. I've seen people drift stock Miatas, but they're really, like, it's full, full throwing it, like, really that inertia drifting, not just, like, throw it, lay out, or, like, E-brake, like, hydro.
Yeah, you gotta send it. It's like clutch kick and transition. I always try to tell my friends that whenever I ride along, and I'll see them, like let off on transition. I'm like, dude, clutch kick it as your transition. It's gonna like change your life for the better.
Yeah.
It's like it's so much better for like you to take out water line or just like keep up with the lead car, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like be mindful not to rear end them as you're doing it. But like, it is so cool just like being able to.
Yeah, clutch kick. Even sometimes like, which I never used to do, but pulling the hydro on transition to like push me a little wider than like I want to be, or like not want to be, but like where I want to go, using that hydro to like slide out just a little more. But I feel like that clutch kick would kind of do the set, like throw you into that spot as well. So no hydros for either one of the Miatas.
I used to have it, but I took it out.
Yeah, no need.
Didn't work.
Yeah,
no, didn't work.
I had an inline setup. Like I was like, I was coping for a long time. Like, no, it does work, whatever. And then one day, I just like, he's like, just use your caliper. Like, okay, fine. I yank it like going straight, and it locks up right after I put on the lift and took out the hydro. Like, I'm not doing this no more.
I think it took me like a year for me to convince him to get rid of it because I drove his car. I was like, I'm using your hydro. All you had wrong with it was your stupid master cylinder.
Yeah.
If you would have gotten the right one, you would have like a working hydro. You didn't have to take it out. But he was like, dude, my hydro works good. Like it's just you. You don't know how to drive my car, and I would like drive it. And I'm literally doing the same thing I do in my car. It's just like I'm tapping, like smashing the foot brake for the hydrant to lock off.
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid, dude.
I was just coping for the longest time.
Yeah.
But stock e-brakes.
Yeah, stock e-brake setup.
So
yeah, and it's tight though. It's nice and tight.
Yeah.
Because like the Z, they're notorious for that. But like the stock one, like
Yeah.
if I'm on a hill and I try yanking it up, it'll start to.
Yeah.
I gotta put it in gear.
Well, that's the same way for like us, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trick for anyone watching that has a stock e-brake and doesn't have brake shoes in the back, like it uses the same like disc brake.
Yeah.
Smash your foot brake after pulling your handbrake.
Okay.
So like you just like as long as you smash your foot brake and you pull the handbrake, it like helps the piston for the caliper to like actually dig into the thing.
Interesting.
And most of the time, only my right rear locks up, so it's not even like a full like lock for both wheels.
Yeah.
But it works good enough. So
Yeah.
it's like who cares?
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it, you really don't need brakes. Like you just need gas. Like
You should just clutch in, like let the car go and just clutch in.
Yeah.
And back on it.
yeah. Yeah, that's one thing too. Yeah, letting it slide, just like or grip up just a
Yeah.
little bit, and then
Yeah.
forcing it back, stomping on it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, is there anything else you guys want to go over or talk about before we close it out? Is there anything else you guys got coming up in the future? Like any events you're planning or
Tell the Dragon.
Tail of the Dragon?
Yeah.
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 Fancy driver cars up there.
That's sick.
Yeah.
And we're playing the Beast Coast one November 9th.
Oh, that's
Okay.
true.
At Citrus?
Yeah,
Citrus
Citrus.
County.
That's
Nice.
really close to our home, so it's like finally like an event not 2 hours away.
Sick.
Somewhat local, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by. And like this episode, drop a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I appreciate it. Peace out, guys.
Bye.